Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esvold. Find them online at ackermanesvold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esvold. Find them at ackermanesvold.com.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Systems go for lunch. Frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
When shopping for your next vehicle, shop Drive Chevrolet Buick, the dealer with the hometown buying experience and the big town inventory. Drive Chevrolet Buick has locations in Botno, Rugby, and Harvey. Browse the massive inventory online at drivechevrolet.com. New and used selections with small town prices. Our deals are worth the drive. drivechevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
This presentation of the PSP Network is brought to you by Bolt Pre-Law Firm, Clean Tech, 701 Realty, Magic City Inspections, First International Bank and Trust, Height Construction, Premier Movement, Premier Chiropractic, Subway, Tires Plus, Minot's Finest Collision Center, United Agronomy, the Minot Hockey Boosters, Morelli's Distributing, Planet Pizza, Century Eyewear, First Western Bank and Trust, the UPS Store, Qdoba, and Arbo Photography.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch. Frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch. Frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
The PSP Network presents this North Dakota State Day Basketball Tournament broadcast. This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Movement, Clean Tech, First International Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tires Plus, Beaupre Law Firm, First Western Bank and Trust, Magic City Inspections, Qdoba, the UPS Store, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Century Eyewear, Subway, Paul Sievert State Farm Agency, and Pro Style Production. Now let's go to the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, 852-1700. Order now. He's the voice of the PSP Network, Nick Holberg.
65 days ago, the Magi from Minot High suffered their only loss of the season. A home game where the Bismarck Demons came in and disrupted the Magi party, winning 84-76. Since that night, the Magi haven't lost. 17 straight wins, and today they play for a state championship, their 19th all-time, when they take on the West Fargo Packers here at the Event Center in Bismarck, North Dakota. Good Sunday afternoon, and welcome into the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location for school parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. They will deliver this entire afternoon while you listen to the State Super A Basketball Championship. 701-852-1700. Highly recommend that Blue Buffalo Pizza. If that's not up your alley, why don't you try the stuffed breadsticks, pepperoni, pineapple, and onion. That's my other go-to. Fantastic stuff at Planet Pizza. Fun is fantastic as the Magi come from behind win last night in the state semifinals where they were down 11 with 7 minutes left, and the Magicians crawl back and get a win over a very, very talented Fargo Davies basketball team to put them into the state championship. West Fargo was down yesterday to the number 1 ranked team in West Fargo, Cheyenne, in the fourth quarter as well, or the second half as well, which brings us to take a look at the state tournament bracket. How did we get here, and why are we here on a Sunday afternoon? Those are a couple questions people are asking due to COVID-19. This is the first time in the history of North Dakota State high school basketball and this tournament that we crown a champion on a Sunday afternoon. It's unique. It's certainly prime time on a Sunday. I don't know what we're competing with today, NASCAR and golf. Maybe some pro basketball and pro hockey, not as big as this one for everybody involved here as West Fargo comes in at 21-4, taking on the Magi at 23-1. Time to take a look at that tournament bracket brought to you by our friends at the UPS Store. The UPS Store located on South Broadway in the Magic City. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7, and Saturdays, 8:30 to 3. The UPS Store located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packing and shipping needs. West Fargo, Cheyenne, and Mandan met in the first game of the tournament on Thursday at noon, and it was the Mustangs from Cheyenne that took down Mandan 66-54. Game number 2 of the tournament, the Demons from Bismarck, number 2 in the West region, got beat by West Fargo. 5 points the margin there. The Packers moved into the semifinals with an 88-83 victory. Minot then took on Fargo North in the opening round in the first game of the nightcap that night, and it was the Magi that won by a score of 83-67, moving them into the semis in a Saturday matchup with Fargo Davies, who took down Bismarck Legacy by a score of 73-58. So an all-West Fargo showdown number 1 of the semifinals last night, and it was West Fargo Cheyenne that fell to the Packers, who came from behind. They had the momentum, they had the crowd behind them, and it was another 5-point win for West Fargo. And Adam Pilcheski's crew, they're a good basketball team. They're deep. They find themselves in the state championship again today. Their only state title in the 90s came in 1992. They've got 3 total, and the last one happened all the way back in that 1992 season. For the Magi, who got into the state championship with a win over Fargo Davies last night, 71-68. The Magicians look for their 19th state championship, and they're going to rumble here in about 20 minutes on the PSP Network for the crowd. It's going to be a good one. Again, West Fargo and Minot for the state championship. That's a look at the tournament bracket brought to you by our friends at the UPS Store, located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packing and shipping needs. It's the UPS Store bringing you the ball game here tonight That's some of the elements to this Planet Pizza pregame show as we get geared up and ready to crown a state champion on a Sunday afternoon. The Magi won last night. It was a wild one. A come-from-behind victory for the Magi, and one that goes down in history as one of the great games that anyone can remember for the Maroon and Gold, and there's been plenty of those games over time. Last night really was a nail-biter. We'll head to our commercial break here on the pregame show with some of those clips from last night, and a little rewind brought to you by Shields as we get geared up for the state championship here today. The Packers and the Magi from the Event Center in Bismarck. More to come on the Planet Pizza pregame show. First, to look back to the semis for the Magicians, advancing the state title matchup again here in 2021. And the Magicians trying to start the motor here. They trail 59-50 with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left here in the second half. And Deontay Martinez has it again. Deontay into the paint, put it up. He's fouled. He's going to go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. And Deontay pulls it back within 7. Martinez up on the elbow, kicks it up top to Wentz. Open for three, lads. Swish! Oh, big one from Eric Wentz from downtown. He's got 14. 90 seconds. Taken here by Deontay Martinez. Up top, he's going to dribble it in. Deontay trying to make a move. Put it up. Oh, he scored and he's fouled. Oh, my goodness, Deontay. He's with the basketball. Minute on the dot. Oh, big stop from DeSette. He got up with it. He swatted it out of there. Like a mosquito on the 4th of July. Stay away from me. And DeSette says, I don't think so. Davies to inbound. Underneath the Minot hoop. 6.4 seconds to play here in regulation. It's a three-point game, and Davies has the basketball. We're down to 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Wilcox takes it away, and the Magi are going to the state title game tomorrow afternoon when they take on West Fargo. 71-68 tonight from the Event Center in Bismarck. Oh, boy, what a night.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an idiot to Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
When shopping for your next vehicle, shop Drive Chevrolet Buick, the dealer with the hometown buying experience and the big town inventory. Drive Chevrolet Buick has locations in Botno, Rugby, and Harvey. Browse the massive inventory online at drivechevrolet.com. New and used selections with small town prices. Our deals are worth the drive. drivechevrolet.com.
This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Movement, Clean Tech, First International Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tires Plus, Beaupre Law Firm, First Western Bank and Trust, Magic City Inspections, Qdoba, the UPS Store, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Century Eyewear, Subway, Paul Sievert State Farm Agency, and Pro Style Production. You're listening to the State A on the PSP Network, your tournament hotspot. Now back to the game. Here's the voice of the PSP Network, Nick Holberg.
Hop in the time machine and go to 6 years ago. Minot and West Fargo for the state championship We needed overtime. 65-59, the Magi won that night in the midst of a three-peat. That was the second year of the three-peat that went from 15, 16, and 17. The year was 2016, and Minot High had the advantage in the last matchup in the state championship game between the Packers and the Magi. Tonight, they match up here in the state title again. This time, 5-6 years down the road. Here we are in 2021, and it's time for the State A from the Event Center in Bismarck. It's the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location. School parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. They can be reached at 701-852-1700. Time to take a look now at our matchup, brought to you by Magic City Inspection. Magic City Inspections is a locally owned company committed to providing exceptional inspection services to ensure you're ready to take the next step in your home ownership. You can find them online, MinotInspections.com. It's a West Fargo Packers team that finished second inside of the EDC. They tied for second with Davies. They had the tiebreaker. They end up with the number 2 spot heading into the EDC tournament. They come out of the EDC tournament with the number 3 spot in the East region. They're currently ranked number 4 in the state for Class A basketball. They're a team that has gone 21-4 on the year. They're a team that's pretty darn good. They average 84 points per night, but they give up 72. They're led by a player by the name of Carter Berencott, 6'5" senior, averaging 23.5 per night. This guy is a kid that is going to be big here today, with West Fargo looking to track down their 4th state championship. Joel Pease averages 6.3 rebounds per night. 18.5 for Carson Hagerly, the 6'3 junior. Parker Nelson averages 7.1. And the other one to watch for here today is Brent Limke. He wears number 11, the 6'1 junior guard, averaging 13.8. A team that's on a 3-game win streak. They've gone 8-2 in their last 10. For the Magi, they're on a 17-game win streak. They finished first in the West region. They finished first in the WDA tournament. Ranked number 2 in the state of North Dakota. 23-1 for Dean Winchesky's group. Dean's trying to track down his 6th state championship and the 19th all-time for the Magi. It's a team that scored 83 points on the year on average compared to the 65 they give up. Defensively, they're so good. Offensively, they're so good. They're so well-rounded. They've got size, they've got grit, they've got intensity, and they have leadership. Deontay Martinez averaging 21.5 per night. He ended number 3 inside of the WDA as far as points production was concerned on average per night. But Deontay's a kid that was named the region player of the year, and for good reason. Derek Doucette averages 15.5 per game. The sophomore did not score in the semifinals last night. Can you believe that? Yeah, you heard me right. He was held off the score sheet, but Eric Wentz wasn't. He ended up scoring some big points last night. He ended up with 20. He averages 15 per night. Rashawn Wilcox averages 6.1, and Ross averaging 9.6. Again, my unsung hero for the Magi. There's a look at the matchup brought to you by our friends at Magic City Inspections. Find them online, MinotInspections.com. Time to take a look at our keys to the game tonight. Those keys to the game are brought to you by Clean Tech. Get COVID-19 deep cleaning services for your home or business with Clean Tech LLC. This is a proactive deep cleaning service that includes disinfecting and sanitizing. Find Clean Tech online, cleantechllc.us. Clean Tech coming to the rescue since 1992. Kind of like our keys last night. You get to this point of the season, the 2 best teams in the state are left. They're both ranked in the top 5 pretty much all season long. The number 1 key for me tonight for the Magi is everybody's got to be moving. But at the same time, when I say that, I think about it, they didn't have Doucette going on the offensive side the other night, but Doucette still found a way to come up with 3 big blocks in the ball game. He contributed that way. Might have had other players that stepped up to the plate. I do believe, however, in this matchup today that the starting 5 for the Magi are all going to need to be on the score sheet. On the other side for West Fargo here today, their key is making their shots and being able to hang on to the basketball. Minot High has forced turnover after turnover against their opponents on this year. If West Fargo can control the basketball and control the tempo here today, they've got a shot at a state championship, their 4th all time. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by our friends at Clean Tech. Find them online, cleantechllc.us, coming to the rescue since 1992. Time to step aside of the Planet Pizza pregame show. They're going to shut the lights off in just a few moments here at the Event Center in Bismarck as we get geared up for our starting lineups in the opening tip-off tonight of the state title game. It's right here on the PSP Network. We've got the call for you, but first we'll talk to Dean Winchesky, the head coach of the Magi. We do that when we return. It is state championship coverage here on the PSP Network. Hope you're locked and loaded today. This are the days we live for as high school sports fans, eh? Hang on tight, it's going to be a dogfight today.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Back to the Planet Pizza pregame show. It's time now for the Coach's Corner of the state title game, brought to you by our friends at Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with a guaranteed lowest prices and their service after the sale with a Tires Plus plan. TiresPlusND.com. We're now joined by Dean Winchesky in his 13th year heading into the state title game here today. First of all, Coach, how much fun were you having last night when you guys came back and won the ball game?
Yeah, during the comeback, it was fun. It was, our kids don't have a quit in them. They don't know that word. They continue to fight. They continue to battle. And our key word this year has been grit, and we have a ton of that. And they've bought into competing and really giving everything they have, and that's a huge reason we've been able to find success.
How good is Deontay Martinez in your mind?
He's a special talent, obviously. A better kid, even more than that. Just an absolute wonderful young man who takes ownership of what he's doing and what the expectations are, and just continues to compete and find ways to get us over the hump.
Awkward question here, but you guys were predicted to finish 6th in the West region coming into the year. If anyone would have told you we'd be in this boat here today, would you have believed him at the start of the year? Obviously, you're the coach of the year without a doubt, and you have that confidence, but would you have thought that at the start of the year, Coach?
I wouldn't have. I thought we were going to be a fun team. I thought we'd have kids that would play hard, and I thought we would eventually have ability to compete with people. But to be doing what we're doing right now was probably beyond comprehension. But as the year went along and we started to see these kids just have that will to play and play for each other and not really care who's scoring as long as we're winning, it just became something special. And we never had kids give into that idea of it's about me or my time or me. It's a phenomenal group of kids, and it starts at home with parents not selling their kids on it has to be you, and if you're not getting this, it's an amazing thing when everybody that's associated with the program recognizes that there are sacrifices involved and everybody has an important role to what we're doing.
Final thing before we talk about today, about last night, when Michael Ross ended up getting the jump basketball call instead of his 5th personal last night, what was your feeling? Was that the way that, was that maybe the game winner right there in the end?
Absolutely. It kept one of our better defender and rebounders in the game, and the official came out of there with an open hand, so we knew it shouldn't have been a foul. Now he went open, then closed. Closed means it was going to be a foul, but he came out open right away, and you could see him say to the other official that I got a jump ball. And I knew we were going to have possession then. We had the possession arrow, and, that gave us a chance then to make some free throws. And give Davies credit, we got it to 4, and they came down and drilled a 3. So we had to get one more stop, and we found ways to do that this year.
On to West Fargo today. This is a team that is ranked in the state as number 4. They're 21-4. What do you expect out of the Packers today?
Oh, they're extremely talented, extremely athletic. They're very well balanced, very well coached, and they present a ton of problems. So we have to really dominate the lane keep people out of the paint, and rebound. At this time of year, it comes down to getting stops and getting rebounds. And if you're able to do that, you'll have an opportunity to win games. And we haven't been perfect all the time defensively, but when we've needed to make those plays, we have.
Final thing for you, what does another state title mean to Dean Winchesky in this program?
It's for the kids. I've been blessed. I've probably had more success than a guy should have, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's all credit to what these kids are willing to do and how hard they're willing to work and the sacrifice they go through. And some roads are easier, some are harder, and it's an awesome thing. Like I said, I've been blessed in my coaching career, and whenever it comes to an end, I can say we did it the right way. We stayed within the rules and expectations by high school activities, and our kids have competed and have gotten better. So, you know what? All of the titles and all of that is just icing on the cake for us trying to do things the right way and make sure we have a positive impact on kids.
Unbelievable. Let's have a great day today, and sure appreciate your time this whole season. It's been one heck of a ride and a lot of fun to be a part of. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Nick.
That's Dean Winchesky, the head coach of the Minot High Magicians, on the Tires Plus Coach's Corner. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we're going to get set for tip-off. The state title on the line today. The Packers from West Fargo, the Magi from Minot High. It's North Dakota Class A State Championship basketball here on the PSP Network.
What we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
10,100 is what the event center in Bismarck will hold. It's nowhere near capacity today, but she's filling up for the state Super A Boys Championship with the starting lineups taking place on the floor right now. Nick Holbrook here for the call on the PSP Network and the Planet Pizza pregame show as Deontay Martinez gets introduced to the fans here in Bismarck as the starting units are put together for both teams with the lights down and the disco lights moving and grooving here at the event center. Time for our starting lineups brought to you by Shots Crossroads. On the 252 Bypass East, it's shotscrossroads.com. You can order online as well and pick it up at Shots Crossroads. 24 hours a day. You can cut out great food and the variety at Shots Crossroads Restaurant. Brent Limke, Parker Nelson, Carson Hagerly, Joel Pease, and Carter Baroncott will start today for West Fargo. They're in their home white uniforms with the forest green trim. All white here today. They got a little gray on there too as well. They got the Fargo Packer Bowl with the smoke coming out of the nostrils and the big horns on the side of the pants. Back of the uniform says Packers across the chest. The Magi are in their road maroons today, trimmed out in their Vegas gold, a little bit of white. The old school magician hat on the side of the shorts. Wilcox, Ross, Butts to set to Martinez to start as the Magi get set for the opening tip-off, brought to you by 701 Realty. Let's play state championship basketball from the event center here in Bismarck. We are underway. West Fargo from the left to the right on the radio dial today for the first half. The Magi from the right to the left. Off the opening tip, it's the Packers with control. They work it up top and around the perimeter. By the way, if you're buying or selling a home, 701 Realty, they are the real deal. Find them online, 701realty.com. First and 10th of the ballgame. Three-land Brent Limke scores from downtown, and West Fargo's off to a 3-0 lead. Deontay Martinez going to work with the basketball. Atmosphere in here couldn't be much better for a Sunday afternoon. Not quite 3:30 in the afternoon yet, but it's lively in here. Ball's turned over by the Magi. Up and with an easy put home. Carson Hagerly's got his first 2 points. Hagerly averaging 18.5 per night. Here's Wilcox, other end of the floor. Took it down. He's fouled. And Rashawn Wilcox went up for the layup. He was fouled in the play, and the foul belongs to Brent Limke. This is a player for West Fargo that has scored 25 points or more twice on the season. They've got some guns that can play without a doubt. Wilcox scores the first points of the state title game for the Magi, and that's from the free throw line. As Wilcox averaging 6.1 per night goes to work again. That one was pure. And Minot High back on the board with 2 to start. It's 5-2 West Fargo. Going to work on it now are the Packers. They've got possession. They set it up top to Carson Hagerly. Hagerly on the near side, kicked it off to the corner, worked back up top, comes away to Limke, dribble drive into the lane, put it up, he missed. Rebound, pulled down, Martinez, and Deontay's double team down in the corner. He's going to bring it up to Derek Descent, and Descent's across the timeline, off to Ross in the paint, put it off the glass, missed, gets his own board. Now it's going to be taken off of Ross, throws it off the feet of a player on the baseline. That was Joel Pease. Out of bounds it went. And the Magi will get the ball back to inbound underneath the West Fargo hoop here with 16:26 to play in the first half, down by 3. 5-2 on the first International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Minot High with the basketball. Here's Wentz in the paint. Turnaround, jump shot off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Descent. He's going to fight for it. Puts it up and in. He didn't score in the semifinals, and a player that averages 15.5 per night. And Descent's got the first 2-pointer of the ball game for himself. And the first field goal, Minot High back within 1. 5-4, West Fargo's on top. Atmosphere is lively in here. Offensive, the foul as it was charged into the lane. And being charged will be number 21, Carson Hagerly. First personal. Second team foul on the Packers, and Minot High is going to get the ball back. Big call there, and Adam Pilcheski didn't like that call. In his 5th year as the head coach of the Packers, he's mustered up a record of 74-25 with the campaigns he's put together over the last 5 years. He goes against a legend, in my mind, on the other end of the floor, and Dean Wincheski, who's in his 13th season, 343 for the wins, 158 for the losses, and a pretty good record for Dean Wincheski. 343 wins, 158 losses in his career with 5 state titles, 3 in a row for the Magi, 2 for Dickinson. Michael Ross charged with his first personal. Gives West Fargo the ball back. We're down to 15:20 to play in the first half. Big stuff down low. Descent got up, put the arms up, stuffed him. And now Wilcox has the basketball underneath his own hoop. He's going to bring it over the timeline. And the Magi go to work. 15:05 to play in the first half. Dribble drive into the paint. Oh, Deontay didn't get that one to fall. It rolled in and then out. And Deontay's going to go to the charity stripe. Parker Nelson charged with his first personal. 3rd team foul on West Fargo, and Deontay goes to the free throw line. He had 28 to the semifinals. He's scoreless here in the state championship game, 0 for 1. Deontay's got all black Nikes on today with black Under Armour socks. With the road uniform, he wears the black outfit. They get into the paint, spin move, kicks it up top. Wentz open, off the front of the rim for 3. Taken out here by West Fargo. They go to work with Brent Limke over the timeline. 1-point lead with 14:46 to play in the first half. Packers are on top of the state title game. Over in the far corner. Basketball handled by West Fargo. Dribbling it back up top. Comes away down to the point man, Carson Hagerly. Off it came to Brent Limke. Limke way downtown. He hit it. 6 points for Limke and an 8-4 lead for West Fargo as Limke hit it from downtown again. Deontay Martinez going to work at the free throw line. Sent it underneath, off to Descent. Last touch by who? West Fargo is the call. Minot High will get the ball back. 8-4 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. And it's West Fargo on top of Minot High here today for the state championship at the Event Center in Bismarck. Don't go anywhere. This one's going to be a dogfight all day long. You can almost guarantee it.
Better Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettoOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetto Orthodontics.
You're listening to the State A on the PSP Network, your tournament hotspot. Now back to the game. Here's the voice of the PSP Network, Nick Holberg.
77 appearances in the state high school basketball tournament for the Magi from Minot High. The next closest to the entire state is Bismarck with 70, Grand Forks Central with 58, and Williston with 50. The Magicians also have the most state championships with 18. Next closest to North Dakota, the Bismarck Demons with 12. Minot High trying to add another one to the resume here today. They trail West Fargo right now 8-4 the first half with 14-14 left in the first half of basketball. There was a conversation on where the ball should be inbounded and with who. And Minot High is going to have the ball. Referees for today's game, Nate Birch along with Mark Ukestead and Brent Weber. They've got the officiating duties today here at the Event Center. Officiating's been really well done here this entire postseason with this entire run for the Magi. Props to all the officials out there that work a lot of hours, get paid peanuts, and get absolutely torn apart by players, coaches, and fans. Deontay Martinez, spin move, can't get the roll. Descent's got the rebound, put it up. He couldn't get the friendly roll there either. And West Fargo's got the basketball. They're going to cross the timeline with it. They slow it down with Carson Hagerly. Gets to the free throw line, dropped it on back, comes up top now for Barincott. Kicked off here, Pease is going to crash in. Oh, Descent says no, soup for you. He stuffed him, and the ball comes back into the possession here for the Packers. They go to work on it. Kicked off to the corner again. Up top it comes, Barincott, jump shot from 10 away, and Barincott's on the board for the first time in this afternoon state title matchup. Leads at 6 for West Fargo. Minot High's got the ball here with Wilcox, up top to Deontay Martinez. Deontay inside to Derek Descent. Descent onto the left side, underneath the rack, put it up. He's going to be blocked on the play from Hagerly. Out of there come the Packers. They've got possession, and with 13 minutes remaining in the first half, they've got a 10-4 lead on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Minot High student section at volume. They're dragged out all maroon and gold here today. In the lane, here's a jump shot. Barincott scores. He's got 4, and he's fouled. And Michael Ross charged with his second personal of the ballgame. Second personal on Michael Ross. And West Fargo's got a 12-4 advantage. The teeter-totter in their possession, in their favor right now. It's been all Packers early on. 1 2-pointer from Descent and a pair of free throws from Wilcox, the only scoring for the Magi so far. Here's the player of the year in the WDA, Deontay Martinez, trying to throw it inside the Wentz. Ball was taken away, and the Packers have possession again. Over the timeline, kicked off from Nelson, corner, 3, Pease off the mark. Rebound pulled down there by Wentz. And the Magi go to work now with Deontay Martinez. Deontay underneath Dargent, outside, open, Descent off the mark for 3. Packers with the rebound. Across the timeline they come with Carson Hagerly. The junior averaging 18.5 per night. 3 attempt off the mark there from Limke. Limke's got it back. Works it into Bierencott. Bierencott went to the ground. Descent took it from him. Deontay's got a clean break. Here's Deontay, lays it up and in. Martinez scores his first two as Descent dished it off to him. And the Magi cut the lead at half. It's 12-6 West Fargo with under 12 to play and ticking in the first half. Packers in their home whites with the basketball. Worked up top here. Fancy move from Hagerly. Goes into the paint. Got into Argent, who's in there for Ross. And Argent's going to be charged with his first personal. And Gavin Argent picks up his first third-team foul. Checking out will be Bierencott along with 21 Hagerly here for the Packers. Into the ball game goes Nick Carlson. And also checking in is Jaden Grafsrud for West Fargo. They inbound the basketball. At the end, where Minot High student section is boisterous. You can hear them coming alive here. Plenty of time on the shot clock with 20. Take it off to the corner for the Packers. Worked inside. Fancy move inside the paint. Nick Carlson scores. Ball's turned over by the Magi. Packers right back in with it. Pease put up the shot. We're going to have a jump basketball coming as Wentz went up to get it. And 22, Joel Pease was right there. The West Fargo fans behind us. They are at volume and loud as can be. They didn't like that call. Ball's going to come away to Deontay Martinez over the timeline. Magi trailing in the basketball game 14-6. 10:54 left in the first half. Ticking away on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Here's Deontay, gets the ball back at the timeline. Deontay inside, off to Descent, puts it up. He's fouled in the play. And Derek Descent's going to go to the free throw line as the foul was charged on number 11, Brent Limke, his second personal. And we've got a media timeout on the floor. We're going to do the same thing. Descent will come to the charity stripe when we return to the event center here in Bismarck. Packers lead the Magi 14-6 in the first half with 10:42 remaining to play in the opening half of basketball. Minot High seeing if they could cut into that lead with Descent when we return.
Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
You're listening to the State A on the PSP Network, your tournament hotspot. Now back to the game. Here's the voice of the PSP Network, Nick Holberg.
Well, about an hour ago, we saw the Bismarck Century Lady Patriots take down Fargo Davies for a three-peat and a championship for girls high school basketball. And the Patriots took care of Davies earlier on today for the three-peat championship. During that matchup, the Bismarck Century student section was all over Minot, chanting and cheering for West Fargo before this one even started here today. If you're wearing maroon and gold today, you're cheering for the Magi. Everybody else at the event center hoping the Magicians don't pick up their 19th state championship. Minot High's got the target on their back. The set made 2 for 2 from the free throw line. West Fargo goes to work on the offensive side of the floor, 14-8. Packers lead, 10:27 left in the first half. Worked up top here to Parker Nelson. Nelson worked it to Pease, one-hander, put it off, and the shooters roll. And Pease got that one to fall, his first points of the ballgame. With the basketball, Cade Butts going to work for the Magi. Off to the set it comes. Works it up top. Kitchen's got it here. Over now to Botts. Spin move left side. It's going to go to bounce there on Parker Nelson, the 5'11 junior guard. And Minot High will get the ball back to inbound in their offensive zone here with 10:03 to play in our first half. The Magi trail the Packers 16-8. Well, when you look at both of these schools, it's West Fargo that's got an enrollment of 1,750. The Magi enroll 1,900 at Magic City and Central Campus combined. Far side, Wentz handles here. Taken down by Martinez outside the arc. Deontay, spin move to the left, over to the right, turnaround, jump shot. Good thing, but then for Deontay. 4 in the ball game. Lead cut down to 6. 16-10, West Fargo on top. Under 10 to play in the first half. Off to work with it. This is Carson Hagerly. Up top, kicked it around here from Grafsrud. Comes back into the possession to Nick Carlson. Carlson dropped it off up top. Off of 21 there, that's Joel Pease. Around it comes, here's the jump shot from Pease. 3-pointer. Pease has 5 and a 9-point lead for West Fargo. Martinez with the basketball at the elbow. Kicked it up top, Cade Butts. Off to Wentz, he'll crash in. Pease denied him. Pulled down by West Fargo. They've got possession. Offensive side of the floor for Bierenkant. 127 points in the postseason for Bierenkant and 2 more. He's got 6 in the ball game and an 11-point lead here for West Fargo. They lead 21-10 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Under 9 to play in the first half of basketball, and the Packers have a different gear here this afternoon at the Event Center here in Bismarck.
Minot is a uniquely connected community. We've been through a lot together, continually moving forward. First Western Bank and Trust has been a part of it all. A real local bank with good people, convenience, and the technology you want and deserve. Banks often claim we're here for you, but at First Western Bank and Trust, we can say we are you. First Western Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the State A on the PSP Network, your tournament hotspot. Now back to the game. Here's the voice of the PSP Network, Nick Holberg.
Deontay Martinez will bring the basketball across the timeline. Got it to Descent, crashes into the paint, put it up off the board and in. And Descent scores 2 more as Minot High tries to cut into this West Fargo lead that's at 21-12 now. Here with 8:34 left in our first half of basketball. Thanks for joining us again today for the state championship broadcast of West Fargo and Minot High on the PSP Network. Packers moving inside. Nick Carlson's got 4 now in the contest as he scores from inside the paint. Here's Descent, brought it inside, put it up, missed it. Packers pull down the board. They slow up shot now as they bring it across the timeline. Carson Hagerly's got it here. He had 28 in the semifinals on Saturday. That was a team high. He's for 3. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Joel Pease. And the Packers lead 26-12. Martinez had the air ball, goes off a Descent. And West Fargo's going to get the ball back. They've got all the momentum in the world. As Minot High is going to have a timeout coming their way on the media timeout here. 7:50 left in our first half of basketball. The Packers lead 26-12 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard at the Capital Cities Event Center. It's been all Packers so far here this afternoon. Not worried yet? I don't think so. Their fans sit back, and there's plenty of them here today, taking care of a big majority of the seats on the far side. It would be the west side of the Civic Center. West Fargo's got a pretty good contingency as green here today as well, as they sit on the east side behind us here at the Event Center today in Bismarck. Dean Winchensky in his 13th year is a guy that is no doubt in my mind the coach of the year inside of North Dakota high school basketball this year. No discredit to anybody else, but this is a Magi team that came into the season predicted to be the number 6 team in the West region. Not in the state of North Dakota, in the West region. Across the state, what did that mean? They should have been somewhere around that 11 or 12 mark probably when the dust settled and it was all said and done. The worst they're going to finish is number 2. They've got a chance to win a state crown again here today. They did it with a bunch of hard-working, hard-hat, lunch pail type of kids. They've got some work to do, however, as Bierenkant scores again, and it's 28-12 West Fargo. Wilcox off to Wentz in the corner. Up top, it came down to Descent. Wilcox for 3 off the mark. Board's pulled out of there by West Fargo. They've got the basketball with Joel Pease across the timeline. Pease worked it back up top, back over to Bierenkant. 584 points out of the year for Bierenkant. Better on the football field. He's off to play football at Moorhead State University for the Dragons. 6'5" senior. That's a big kid. Nothing but muscle. Ball's taken here by Deontay Martinez. He's going to dribble drive into the paint, put it up. Deontay scored. 2 more for Deontay. And the lead cut in half again. 28-14 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. 7:40 to play in the first half. Packers on top. Here's Bierenkant, jump shot off the mark. And the board pulled down by Wentz. And the Magi are going to run the floor with it. Here comes Deontay Martinez. Brings it up top. Butts was open from 3. He's going to dribble in. Little jump shot. Butts gets it to fall. Cade Butts only averages 2 points per game, but he's got a couple big ones here. As Minot High now puts 16 on the board. They trail 28-16 with 6:12 to play in our first half. Pease worked it inside. Bierenkant into the paint it comes. Turn around. Oh, Descent stopped him. Minot's got the rebound out of there as Descent got the arms up again, swatted it out, and Deontay goes to work. Offensive side of the floor. Ball's taken away. Look out. Here comes Carlson. Slam time. And Nick Carlson has the one-handed jam. And West Fargo with the icing on top of the cake here tonight. 30-16, they lead. Deontay Martinez, other side of the floor with the basketball. He goes to work, a little jump shot, put it up, he scored. Do they count it? They do. Ball was charged on. No, is that going to be? Sorry, it's Carson Hagerly that's charged. Deontay does score, and he goes to the charity stripe for the old-fashioned 3-point play. Deontay has 2, 4, 6, 8 in the ball game. Make it 9. And the lead's at 11. If you're watching on TV, you see a pretty good look of Adam Polcheski, the head coach of West Fargo. Like watching this guy coach. He's just got poise and a calm to him the way he coaches this West Fargo team. He played the State B basketball tournament back in 2000. Played for Center Scranton. Better known for his football days, he went on to play at North Dakota State for the Bison. Coaches now for West Fargo. Hagerly's got 2 more. 32-19, West Fargo on top. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Wentz goes to work at the hash, kicked it up top. Butts thought about it, delivered it off here. Minot High's got some second stringers, quote unquote, if you will, in the ballgame. One of them is the sophomore, Nygaard. At the elbow, up top, over to Wentz. Wentz back over to Descent. Shot clock's down to 5. Descent goes to work. Descent double team down low, gets his own board, puts it up. Missed, rebound in the paint, and Derek Descent's going to be charged with the foul. And Descent picks up his first of the ball game. 4th team foul on the Magi. And we're down to 4:38 to play in the first half. 32-19 West Fargo. A team that comes in scoring 84 points per night. They've given up 72 on the season on average to their opponents. But tonight the Magicians have not found a way to score on them yet. Only 19 points on the board for the Magi. 4:24 left in the first half. Packers with possession. Turnaround shot from Bierenkant, one-handed. He's got 10. Here's Deontay Martinez over the timeline. Wilcox up top. Kicked it over to Wentz. Now it's taken by Butts. Worked it up top to Deontay. He goes to work. From the free throw line, sent it in to Wilcox. Jumps it up and in. And Wilcox has 4 in the ballgame. His first field goal. 13 points is the lead for the Packers. Kicked it off of the corner. West Fargo off to work again. A little runner off the mark there from Zapata. And Minot High gets the board with Deontay across the timeline. Dribble drive into the paint. Deontay double teamed. Didn't get the roll. Rebound pulled down. And West Fargo's got it with Nelson. 34-21. Packers are on top. 3.5 to play in the first half. This place is at volume as the Minot High student section trying to top the West Fargo shooters. It's not working. Brent Limke scores again, and Limke's got 8 to the ball game as he had some finesse from about 10 out. Other side of the floor, Wilcox starting to heat up. Back-to-back buckets for him, and the lead remains at 13, however, at 36-23 with 3 minutes on the dot to play in the first half. Packers with the basketball. Pease up top with it. Dished it off over to the corner. Going to work on it. Little runner again. This one off the mark. Rebound's going to be pulled down off the front of the rim. Then the glass. Limke scores again. And the Packers have it in overdrive. Here's Deontay Martinez. Slides across the floor. Sent it inside to Wentz. And the ball's going to be taken here by the Packers again at Limke. And Limke's got it where he slows it up. Crossing the timeline. Now he turns on the Sonic the Hedgehog speed, takes it down to the corner. He's at the baseline, kicked it up top. Bierenkot was open, fakes the shot, drives in, shoots and scored. 40-23, West Fargo's on top. We're down to 2:10 to play in the first half. Packers are putting the wood to the Magi right now as Descent's got the basketball up top. Over to Deontay Martinez. 28 last night for Deontay. Brings it outside, off to Botts, now Wilcox, 3 land. Off the mark there, Minot High has not made the shots they've wanted to here in the ballgame. They need to find a way to turn the burner on and heat up just a bit because right now the Magi are a bit cold. 1:50 left in the first half, 40-23. West Fargo leads on the first International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Minot High trying to pick up state title number 19. West Fargo trying to pick up state title number 4. Since 1980, the West Fargo Packers have been to the state championship game 5 times. They have a 3-2 record since 1980. That was before I was born. And that's quite a few years ago when you start hopping to the time machine. For the Magi since 1980, they're a team that has dominated North Dakota high school basketball. 11 trips to the state championship since 1980. And the Magi have 8 victories and 8 crowns since then. If you remember back to their 3-peat where they won it in 15, 16, and 17, that's the last time that the Magi got there. Last time they won it. In 2016, they had to go through West Fargo. It took overtime. The Magi won 65-59 that night in the middle of that state championship 3-peat. We're back underway now here in the first half as West Fargo's got the basketball at a 40-23 lead. Rebound underneath the Minot High hoop. We're down to 90 seconds in the first half, and there's going to be a foul on the play on the Packers, and it's going to be on number 12. That's Parker Nelson. Second personal. Hagerly's got 2, Nelson's got 2, and Limke's got 2. For the Magi, Descent has 1. So does Argent, and Michael Ross has 2. Packers in some foul trouble early in the ballgame. Will that be a factor today? Here's Deontay Martinez. Threw it up top. The ball went out of bounds. It was last touched by West Fargo, and Kinchin didn't even touch the basketball. They're going to come together and talk about it. That's got to be Minot's basketball, hands down, without a question here in my mind. They continue to talk about it. The officials do right in front of us. They threw it to Kinchin. Minot High gets the ball back, and they make the right call. Here the minute 14 left here in the first half of basketball. That one happened right in front of us. Conversation continues with the officials right in front of the bench. And the head coach, Adam Pelcheski, here for West Fargo. Minot High's got the ball back on the inbound. Deontay's got the basketball. Sent it off down to Wilcox. Wilcox, Krish again, can't get it to roll. And we're down to a minute 4 to play in the first half, and West Fargo has the ball at a big lead at 40-23. Work back up top. Carson Hagerly dropped it off to Bierenkot. In the corner it went for Parker Nelson. He's got light pink shoes on here today. He was stuffed again by Descent, and Descent brings it down. Look out, Descent's going to hit the deck. And there's going to be a foul on the play of the Packers. And Descent draws the foul. Foul will be charged to Zepeda. And Zepeda's going to pick up his first personal. 17th foul, so Derek Descent goes to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. 2 for 2 for Descent from the free throw line. First one's nothing but net. 7 so far in the ball game for the sophomore Derek Descent. He had 12 versus Fargo North. Didn't score last night, but a kid that is known more for his blocks and his defensive play came into the state tournament with 40 blocks on the season. He's been an animal on the defensive side, and that number continues to climb here at the state high school basketball tournament. Shot was off the mark. No good for Hagerly. Deontay's got it, works it down low. Off to Kinchin. Threw that one to Descent. Descent had it in his hands. It went off of him and out of bounds, so the Packers will get the ball back. 40-25. West Fargo's on top with 19.7 seconds to play in the first half. Minot High hasn't played this poorly or been contained this way in the first half of basketball yet at the state high school Super A basketball tournament. They had a 13-point lead yesterday that diminished on them. They just haven't really had the motor going at all here in the state title game. Biricott gets the rebound, has the board, and at the end of the first half, it's 40-25. West Fargo on top on the first international Bank and Trust scoreboard. West Fargo fans are up and they are boisterous, letting the Packers know their appreciation as West Fargo leads 40-25 through our first 18 minutes of basketball here tonight. Buckle up tight. We've got another 18 to play, and one of the most dynamic teams in the state of North Dakota, the Magi, have some work to do. And if they unhook the plow and get going in the second half, all I can say is I hope you've got your blood pressure medicine ready. 40-25 at the break. Packers on top. Premier Chiropractic. Halftime report comes up next.
We don't see a new car buyer or a used car buyer. We see a person giving us a chance to earn their trust, and we take that personally. We detail and inspect every pre-owned vehicle on our lot. So when you buy one, you'll leave feeling confident that the car is in great condition and you got a great value. Like this 2017 Sierra 1500 Crew priced at an even 30 grand. That's more than $2,000 below NADA book value. Come see us today at Ryan Buick GMC, your dealership of choice.
Smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
At Ryan Buick GMC, we don't see a new car buyer or a used car buyer. We see a person giving us a chance to earn their trust, and we take that personally. We detail and inspect every pre-owned vehicle on our lot. So when you buy one, you'll leave feeling confident that the car is in great condition and you got a great value. Like this 2017 Sierra 1500 Crew priced at an even 30 grand. That's more than $2,000 below NADA book value. Come see us today at Ryan Buick GMC, your dealership of choice.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Don't put off little fixes around the house any longer. Call FTK LLC Property Maintenance and Improvement. That's FTK. No job too big or too small. Take care of your spring cleanup and tree trimming and removal. Schedule your spring cleanup now. Call 701-340-5524 or find us on Facebook. Again, schedule now. Spring is right around the corner. FTK Property Maintenance and Improvement, LLC.
Minot is a uniquely connected community. We've been through a lot together, continually moving forward. First Western Bank and Trust has been a part of it all. A real local bank with good people, convenience, and the technology you want and deserve. Banks often claim we're here for you, but at First Western Bank and Trust, we can say we are you. First Western Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Internet is an essential part of life today. So why is it so hard to figure out how much speed you actually need? At SRT, we provide fast, reliable internet packages to help you live your best internet lifestyle. So you can enjoy seamless connections across every device in every room. Get our popular social package for only $45.95 a month. Great for the whole family. It doesn't have to be difficult to get Wi-Fi that works. Contact SRT and start loving your internet.
This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Movement, Clean Tech, First International Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tires Plus, Beaupre Law Firm, First Western Bank and Trust, Magic City Inspections, Qdoba, the UPS Store, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Century Eyewear, Subway, Paul Sievert State Farm Agency, and Pro Style Production. It's time for the Premier Chiropractic Halftime Report on the PSP Network. Now back to the hardwood with Nick Holberg.
40-25 at the break in favor of the West Fargo Packers. They lead on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard here this afternoon. It's the state championship matchup for North Dakota high school basketball here today, and the Magi have some work to do if they want to come back and pick up state title number 19. Packers are on their way to picking up their fourth ever crown and first since 1992. Guess who they beat that year? The Magi. So many storylines when you get into this and when you get down the stretch. Was it the Magi? Let me find out, make sure that's right for you. Was it the Magi that Minot High, that West Fargo beat to the state title game back in 92? Well, let me look. Nevertheless, I'll get it for you in a minute. Got about 6,000 notes on the sheet in front of me. For whatever reason, that's one that I don't have. Premier Chiropractic brings you the halftime report here today. Premier Chiropractic focused on improving the health of Minot and the surrounding areas through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Dr. Kirk Mason, Dr. Cody Haugen, and Dr. Becky Perry-Dobries can be found at premierchiropracticnd.com. Big thank you to Premier Chiropractic bringing you the halftime show here today for the state title game as the 21-4 West Fargo Packers lead the 23-1 Minot High Magicians 40-25 at the break. Scoring looks like this. Game high and team high for West Fargo is Carter Biricott. He's got 12 in the ball game, 10 for Brent Libke. Joel Pease has 8, 2 of which are three-pointers. 6 in the ball game for Nick Carlson and 4 for Carson Hagerly. 5 have scored for the Packers. The Magi are led by guess who? Deontay Martinez. He's got 9. Derek Doucette's got the motor turning. He's got 8 with 3 blocks. Cade Butts has 2, and Rashad Wilcox has 6. The Magi have not found a way to really get the motor turning at all in that first half. Team that averages 85 a night has only scored 25 in the first half. If they're kind of like a jack-in-the-box maybe here in the second half where they were just getting cranked up in that first half, just wait for them to scare everybody that's wearing green in here today. That's what I'm waiting for in the second half. Let's see if they can do it. Minot High trailing in this one 40-25. Rebounding in the ball game so far, West Fargo leads that category 18-14 with total rebounds. Turnovers a big one. Minot High's turned the ball over 6 times and 3 times on the turnover scale for West Fargo. Minot High in that first half, total field goal percentage, 36%, 9 of 25. They went 7 of 9 for the line at 77%. And for the first time in the tournament, the Magicians did not score a three-pointer in the first half. They went 0 for 4. That's a big difference maker because West Fargo did. They went 4 for 7 from three land. That's 57%. They're 54% from field goal land and 18 for 33. They only had one free throw to shoot, and they went 0 for 1. 40-25 at the break on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. That's going to do it for our Premier Chiropractic halftime report. When we come back, we're going to get set up and ready for our second half of basketball. Minot High trailing in this one. 40-25. Do they have the magic to come back and win a state title? We're going to find out. Second half is next here on the PSP Network.
Combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Movement, Clean Tech, First International Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tires Plus, Beaupre Law Firm, First Western Bank and Trust, Magic City Inspections, Qdoba, the UPS Store, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Century Eyewear, Subway, Paul Sievert State Farm Agency, and Pro Style Production.
We put a cap on our Premier Chiropractic halftime reports. The lead's at 15 for the Packers. As we enter the second half of basketball, the opening possession of this second half brought to you by our friends at 701 Realty. If you're buying or selling a home, contact that entire group. Andrew Goodmanson, my go-to for realtors in Minot, North Dakota, 701realty.com. Packers will have the basketball to start. They're going to inbound from center court. They've got a 15-point lead. The biggest was 17 in the ball game. Just to let you know, West Fargo did beat Minot in 92 by a score of 65-50. Thought I read that right. Here's Deontay Martinez, a little jump shot. Deontay gets going, he scores. He's got 11. And Minot High has got the first points to the second half of basketball. Off to work are the Packers. They bring it down into the offensive zone. They're going to work it up top. Bierenkott, who had the game-high 12 points in the first half, turns it around in the lane, missed it. Wentz pulls down the board. And Minot High's motoring now with Deontay carrying over the timeline. Deontay, little step back. He's going to pop again. Didn't get the board, but then Descent's going to be fouled on the play. And Derek Descent's going to go to shoot as the foul's going to be charged on Parker Nelson. His third personal. First team foul, and Derek Descent goes back to the charity stripe where he's perfect in the state title game. He's 4 for 4. Here's the sophomore, makes that one count as well. And Descent cranks up another one. Minot High chipping away at it, down within 12 now. Here was 17-11 left in regulation. Descent hits the second. 6 for him from the free throw line alone. He's got 10 down in the ball game. 40-29, West Fargo on top of the Magi. Under 17 and ticking down like the sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives here in the second half. Basketball's taken here by the Packers up top. Worked around the perimeter. Little dribble drive through the lane. No good. Board pulled down. Michael Ross. I'm sorry, that's Descent that pulls it down. And Descent's going to drop it off over to Deontay Martinez. Up to Wilcox up top. Now it's going to come back over to Michael Ross. He, with the left hand, puts it up and in. First points of the ball game for Michael Ross. And the Magicians are back within 9. West Fargo's got the basketball. Off it comes to the corner. Parker Nelson drives in. He misses. Rebound pulled down Ross. And here comes the Magi. Taken again by Deontay Martinez. Kicked it up top over to Wentz. Wentz is going to drive it in. Puts it up and in. Oh, boy. Hang on tight. The Magi are within 7. And here they come. Like a North Dakota thunderstorm that just started brewing up over in the west. Get in the basement. The Twisters coming. And the Magi have the momentum now as West Fargo's got the ball. They're going to fire from outside the arc. They miss. Rebound pulled down by Wentz. Deontay Martinez back with it over the timeline. Deontay into the paint. He's going to send it down. Trying to send it to the set. He did. Wilcox open for 3 off the side of the rim. No three-pointers yet for the Magi tonight. As West Fargo looking for a stop as Minot High is on a run. 40-33. Packers on top. 15-17 ticking away in the second half of basketball. The fans are at volume for the Maroon and Gold. Crashing in, Bierenkot put it up. He missed it. Board pulled down by Ross. And Minot High's got the ball again. The momentum favors the Magi. They've got it with Wilcox. He's going to dribble it in. Wilcox takes it down, puts it up and in. 8 to the ball game for Wilcox. And this place hasn't been this loud yet. The Magi are back within 5. Taken here by the Packers. They've got it. Little jump shot in the lane. That one's going to fall up and in for Carson Hagerly. He's got 6. And off to work goes Deontay Martinez again. Deontay's over the timeline with it. Slowing it down. Magi fans have volume. Here's Descent crashing in. Shooter touch. And Descent gets it to fall. 12 of the ball game for Descent. And the lead back at 5. 42-37 Packers. With the ball, it's going to be taken up top. Offensive zone for Carson Hagerly. 10 games where he scored 22 or more on the year. His season high was 36 against Davies. Not too bad, huh? Look out. Packers throw the ball away. The Magi fans are up again. And the Magicians. Listen to this place. The Maroon and Gold are firing on all cylinders in the second half. Hang on tight. This one's going to come down to the wire again. 42-37. The Packers are on top, but the Magi erasing the deficit here in the second half.
Radio broadcast on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Movement, Clean Tech, First International Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tires Plus, Beaupre Law Firm, First Western Bank and Trust, Magic City Inspections, Qdoba, the UPS Store, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Century Eyewear, Subway, Paul Sievert State Farm Agency, and Pro Style Production.
You know what I'm talking about? One of those mid-July nights where all of a sudden you look over to the west and you start thinking maybe you need to pull the car inside because the hailstorm's coming. You can see this one brewing for the Magi. That's where we're at right now. The warnings are coming across your screen, and the Magicians are starting to drop some hoops here in the second half. 13:52 to tick away in regulation. They trail 42-37. They caught the basketball up here. The Packers are going to take it and bring it back across the timeline with Brent Lemke. Biggest lead of the ball game was at 17. Packers have possession. Offensive side of the floor. Worked around by Joel Pease. Inside, turnaround, little jump shot. Didn't fall. Deontay went up and got the basketball. Pulled down the board, and Deontay goes to work with it. Deontay on the left side. Spin move, turnaround, jump shot. He scored. This place is going bananas. 42-39. West Fargo still leads. Pease off of the corner. Up top, it came to Lemke. Over on the wing for Pease. Back up top again, Hagerly. Hagerly down to Bierenkot. Bierenkot's going to crash in. Puts it up and in. 14 now in the ball game. Minot leads the Packers. Wilcox over the timeline. Wilcox dribbles it in. What a move! Put that one off the square and in. Send it to Sports Center. The Magi are within 3. Taken by Minot again. Offensive zone, setting it up. It's going to be taken on the near side. Jump shot coming off the mark. And Brent Lemke misses. Board pulled down by the Magi. Here's Dissett. Oh, Minot stopped him. Ball's going to be taken off the fingertips of Deontay Martinez and out of bounds and wins. Dissett's had some blocks in this tournament that have been worth the price of admission. Minot just gave Derek Dissett a taste of his own medicine. Big stuff there. The Packers have the ball. 12-11 to play in regulation. 44-41. Packers with the lead. Minot has not led in the ballgame. Biggest lead was 17. But the Magi have clawed back into it. Packers with possession outside. Pease is open for 3. Missed it. Martinez rebound. And here come the Magi again. Deontay crashes in, waits, puts it up. He's going to be blocked on the play. Deontay dove for the basketball as he stepped out of bounds. And West Fargo will get the ball back. Can't argue with the hustle of the player of the year for the WDA and Deontay Martinez. That kid is a special player. He's going to end up somewhere, probably in the NSIC, I'd have to think. Height is going to be his number one restraint moving forward in his basketball career, but he's good enough to play at the next level. There's no doubt about it. I missed the call. Was that a jump basketball call? It was. The Magi have the possession arrow. 11:33 left here in the second half. 44-41. Minot trailing. Wilcox with it. He's speedy down the floor. Got it off to Ross. And out of bounds it's going to go. Last touch there by Parker Nelson. Nelson's had 18 points here at the state tournament. Not a bad outing for him. Minot's going to check back into the ball game. Out will come Carson Hagerly. Led the Packers last night against number 1 West Fargo Cheyenne. Again, he had 28. That was a rowdy ball game. Packers trailed in that contest by 7 in the contest to West Fargo Cheyenne, and they came back and won it to get back into the state championship game today. Deontay Martinez spin move, trying to send it outside. Wentz is open for 3. No good. Ross rebound, put it up. He scored. Michael Ross in front of the rim, pulls it down, and the Magi are back within 1. 44-43. Take it here, crashing through the paint. They're going to count that for Brent Lemke, and he's fouled. Foul's going to be charged on 21, Gavin Argent. His second personal. First team foul here in the second half of the Magi. 46-43. Packers lead with 11:01 to play in the second half. By the way, 24 hours a day, you can count on great food and an awesome variety at Shots Crossroads Restaurant. Always open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the 2 and 52 bypass at Shots Econo Stop Restaurant. Big thank you to them. You can order online as well, shotscrossroads.com. Derek Dissett, other end of the floor, off to the corner. Argent from 3-land missed it. Board pulled down by Ross. Deontay's got it again. At the elbow, going to work. Tried to spin it away, off to the right side. Missed it, rolled in, then out. Ball's pulled down by the Packers. They slow up shop. They're going to bring it over the timeline with Lemke. Minot has had success when they've had the foot on the gas pedal here in the second half. Right on the baseline, almost out of bounds. No, it wasn't. Ball moved into Grafsrud, and Grafsrud scores his first 2 points of the ball game. Here's Deontay Martinez. Went down to the floor, got it off to Wilcox. Tried to throw it across to Ross, taken away by Pease, and Pease has it here. The lead's at 6 for West Fargo. 10 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the second half. Packers with possession, they carry it into the offensive zone. Down to the corner, it came for Grafsrud. Up top now, it's for Lemke. Limke sends it up top. He's open, trying to get his third three. Couldn't top the front of the rim. Deontay pulled down the rebound. Magi go to work with it. Here's Deontay Martinez with the basketball. Off to Ross, down to the corner, Wilcox. Wilcox looking for the outlet. Sends it off, down to Derek Dissett. Crashes and bangs into the paint. Up, he scored and he's fouled. Flexes at the student section. Shows off the guns of the sophomore. Now with a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. 14 for Derek Dissett. Queen We Will Rock You comes out of the loudspeakers inside of the event center in Bismarck. It's a 4-point ball game. The Packers on top with 9.5 to play here in our second half.
First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
You're listening to the State A on the PSP Network, your tournament hotspot. Now back to the game. Here's the voice of the PSP Network, Nick Holberg.
32 trips to the state tournament for the West Fargo Packers. And since 2009, they've been in the title game twice. They lost to Minot in 2016. They also lost back in 2009 to Mandan by a score of 57-46. Fifth state title appearance all time. 3-2 for the Packers. Dissett misses from the free throw line. And the old-fashioned three-point play doesn't belong to Dissett this time. And his first miss from the charity stripe of the ballgame. He's now 6 for 7 from the free throw line. Packers have possession of a 49-45 lead. 9:15 to tick away here in this second half of basketball. It's been a thriller so far. We expect more of the same down the stretch. Shot clock's at 4. Little runner off the side of the rack. Shot clock violation on the Packers. Him on it high. Gets the ball back. 49-45. The Magicians trail West Fargo here. The player of the year for the WDA, Deontay Martinez, has the basketball over the timeline. He scored 101 points in the postseason. Not too shabby. Take it here, worked up top. And that postseason only had 5 games right now, by the way. Take it here by Ross. He's going to crash in. Puts it up. Swoosh! Michael Ross scores another one. All 6 of his come in the second half, and that was some athletic basketball. Ball's taken here by the Packers. They crash in with it. They return the favor on the other end of the floor. And the points belong to Grefsrud. 51-47. Derek Dissett tried to lay it up and in. Missed it. And the foul's going to be charged on Dissett. And Derek Dissett did some... No, he's actually not. He's only going to be charged with his second. I apologize. 2 on Dissett, 2 on Argent, and 2 on Michael Ross. On the other side, you've got 3 on Nelson, 2 on Hagerly, 1 on Zapata. And the only fouls to report were just mentioned. 8:05 to play here in regulation. 51-47, West Fargo. Minot High has trailed the entire ballgame. They have not led at all. Up with the shot. 2 points for Grefsrud, and he's fouled. Foul's going to be charged on Eric Wentz. First personal on Wentz. 53-47. West Fargo still leading. There's immediate timeout on the floor. We're going to keep it right here at the press box and the front row of the hardwood at the event center here in Bismarck. Man, I tell you, this has been a wild ride for the Magi the entire postseason. They're a team that, again, nobody expected to be here. And I mean nobody. Even Dean Winchesky, we asked him in the pregame show tonight in that Tires Plus Coach's Corner. If you missed it, you can always go back and listen. I asked him and just said, hey, man, you're without a doubt going to be the coach of the year in North Dakota high school basketball. He was in the West region. If he's not the coach of the year, then I'm not 60 pounds overweight currently. I'm telling you. And nobody can argue that. I mean, this guy, unbelievable what he's been able to do with this group from Minot High School. But I asked him and talked about the start of the year, if he would have ever thought they'd be playing for a state title. He got a smile on his face and said no. You got to give him credit. He's been the X factor in my mind. So many guys on this team for the Magi that have been so good all year long, and so many of them that are so unselfish. And that's the biggest piece to this entire puzzle for the Magi. Grefsrud converts on the old-fashioned three-point play, and the lead back at 54-47. West Fargo on top. Deontay with the basketball. Deontay, fancy move. He's going to be fouled. And 2 shots coming here, I do believe. Is that what we're going to see? Joel Pease is going to be charged with his first personal. Second personal, according to the PA announcer here at the event center. Deontay Martinez to the charity stripe. He went 6 for 6 last night down the stretch in the semifinals in the second half. Gets that one to fall in. And now the lead at 54-48. West Fargo with 7:46 left here in the second half. Deontay's second one. That one was pure, nothing but net. 54-49. Packers with the advantage. Hagerly with the basketball over the timeline. Hagerly going to work on Wentz. Hagerly works it over to the far side, looking for the outlet. Hagerly's got it in the paint. He's going to put up a shot. Travel the violation. Minot High will get the ball back. 54-49. Wentz to inbound it to Deontay Martinez. Here's Deontay. Changed his shoes for the title game from all white Nikes to all black, because Minot High's got the maroon roads on here today. Deontay from the free throw line. Swoosh! This kid's a living, breathing highlight reel, I'm telling you. 17 in the title game for Deontay Martinez. Leads back up to 3 here for the Packers as the Magi try to cut into it. Off in the far corner, Packers with the basketball. Shot clock down to 10. Here's a little jump shot. Off the mark, rebound, pulled down by Descent. And Martinez has the ball again. We haven't been tied since we started here tonight. Deontay got it off to Descent. West Fargo fans wanted a call on Magi's Martinez for travel. They didn't get it. 3 attempt, no good from Deontay. Grefsrud pulls it down. And here come the Packers again with Hagerly. Hagerly's going to cross over the timeline with it. Down to 6:23 to play. Second half of basketball. 54-51. Packers on top. Magi fans at volume again. Worked over to the far side for Hagerly. Hagerly out for the corner and came down to Grefsrud. Grefsrud dished it off to Barincott. Shot clock down to 3. Taken away Magi. Wilcox has it. And Wilcox is over the timeline with it. Kicked it off. Martinez thought about a 3. Up top for Ross. Open from 3-land. Swish! We're tied at 54 on a monster 3-pointer from Michael Ross. Oh my goodness! Plug your ears, kids. It is at a volume we haven't heard yet today. Michael Ross ties the state title matchup at 54 aside from the NBA three-point line. Oh, 5:46 to play in regulation. 54-54 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. This tournament coverage brought to you by our friends at Diamond Tea Ranch. 4 generations of Hereford and Red Angus with F1 Cross Maldies. If you know anything about cattle, you know that that's the real deal. Visit them online, DiamondTRanchND.com. We also want to tell you that if you're shopping for tires, there's no other place than Tires Plus, because they have all brands under one roof with the guaranteed lowest prices and their service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. Find them online, TiresPlusND.com. Michael Ross had a monster three-pointer, and the Magi tie the ball game. Packers are going to throw it away, over and back. The violation of the Magi get the ball back. Listen to this place. It's complete pandemonium. And the Magician fans are at volume. They should be. Minot High trailed by 17. We're now tied at 54-54. And the Magi have crawled their way back into the contest. And that crawl became a walk. Then it became a run. Then it became a sprint. And now the Magi are trying to turn this one into overdrive. Take it here by Descent. He's at the free throw line. Now he worked it up top. He's going to drive into the paint. Right wing. Looking for the outlet. Finds it. Wilcox. He scored. Minot High's got the lead for the first time in the ballgame. 56-54. Hello, Rashawn Wilcox. Packers with the ball again. Offensive side of the floor it comes. Taken by Pease out on the near wing. Shot clock down to 15. Packers with possession. Zepeda worked it up top to Birincott. Birincott worked it over to the far side for Pease. At the elbow, up top again. Zepeda in the corner. 3-ball, air ball, rebound, pulled down. And there's going to be a foul on Eric Wentz. Is that who it will be on? No, it's actually going to be on Rashawn Wilcox. First personal. Fourth team foul on the Magi. And that will send Zepeda to the free throw line. Hits it. And Zepeda 1 for 1. Ball's going to be taken by Zepeda. Dribbling. He's got great Ikes. They've got a strip of Velcro across the top along with the laces. I think I could get used to the Velcro shoes like Zepeda's got on. Those look comfy and stylish. We're tied at 56 aside as Zepeda went 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Deontay Martinez with the basketball. Wentz kicked it into Deontay. Deontay at the baseline. Touched the out-of-bounds stripe. And Minot High's fans do not like that. Neither does Dean Winchesky. He comes to volume. These officials, man, let me tell you, they don't have an easy job, do they? They're hearing it right now at the event center. 56-56. This is a dogfight in a ball game tonight that's been worth the price of admission and then some. Packers with the basketball. They work it up top and now around the perimeter to Birincott. He had 12 in the first half. He's got 16 total. Air ball taken by Deontay off the defensive zone coverage, and Deontay's got it here over the timeline again. Stops it, pops from the elbow. He missed it. Doesn't happen often for Deontay, a kid that came into the tournament shooting 56%. West Fargo's got the ball on the board. 56-56. You like drama and intensity, or is this not for you? It's for me. I'm loving it. Hagerly's got 2 more. And Hagerly's got 8 points in the ball game, and the Packers have the lead back. 58-56. Ross up top. Off to Deontay Martinez. Here's Deontay. Kicked it off to Wilcox. Behind his back. Fancy move into the paint. Here's Wilcox. Put it up. Didn't get the roll. Birincott pulls down the board. And West Fargo goes to work with it. Limke over the timeline. Turned on the motor. Then he hit the brakes right in front of us. On the Shields logo. Right on the hardwood. On the near wing. This is the left side of the radio dial with the Packers moving right to left. Magi from the left to right. Packers earn their home white. Minot Highs in the road maroons. Birincott up top. He's got green laces in those Nikes. He fired a shot. Rebound pulled down by Michael Ross. And out of there come the Magi. 2.5 to play. here in the second half. Deontay, fancy move. Biricott pulls down the board. He was a giant after Deontay missed it. 2:25 to play here in the second half. 2-point lead. Packers are on top of the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Man, this has been a fun run for the Magi. Works from Pease over to the near side. Limke's got it at the elbow up top. Hagerly thought about it. Hagerly's going to shoot a jump shot. Rebound pulled down Martinez. Hagerly missed it. 2 minutes on the dot to play in regulation. And Dean Winchesky calls a timeout. Sweet Caroline comes on the loudspeakers at the event center. Somebody's going to be celebrating. Somebody's going to be leaving here. Not so much. 58-56, West Fargo on top. 2 minutes to play in the state title game.
Your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability. For all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs, your project can rely on Ackerman Esfold. Find them online at ackermanesfold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esfold. Find them at ackermanesfold.com.
You're listening to the State A on the PSP Network, your tournament hotspot. Now back to the game. Here's the voice of the PSP Network, Nick Holberg.
Well, I couldn't be more excited to be here today at the event center. These kids on the floor, each and every one of them playing in the games of their life. The game of their life right now, it's the state title matchup, and it's a 2-point lead for the Packers. We're under 2 minutes to play in regulation. Wilcox up top, sent it inside to Michael Ross. Ross, spin move, puts it off the glass. He scored. 11 in the ball game for Ross. And we're tied at 58 aside with 90 seconds left in regulation. Hang on tight. It's not over yet. This one's coming down to the wire. Packers have the basketball. Up top for Hagerly. Hagerly's going to take it here to Biricott. Drives into the lane. Double team. Stuffed there by the set. Oh, big one. Biricott. Rebound. Put it up. And in. And Biricott's going to be fouled on the play. Count the basket. And the basketball finds its way through for Biricott. He's fouled by Wentz. His second personal. And a 2-point lead for the Packers that they try to add to now as Biricott's at the free throw line. Hit it. He's now 1 for 2 in the ballgame. 3-point lead for the Packers. Magi fans are at volume. Deontay Martinez calls out the shots, puts the wrist up and shakes the fist. That's a play call for the Magi. They set it up here with Deontay at the elbow. Jump shot. Deontay, nothing but net. He is so swift and so good. Martinez scores again. 1-point lead for the Packers. 50.8 seconds to play here in regulation. Ozzy Osbourne on the loudspeakers. And the energy in here, you could cut with a butter knife. Minot High student section on their feet. West Fargo fans, some of them on their feet. Minot High parents, get up. If you're listening to me over on the far side, stand up and cheer for your Magi. What are you doing? 50 seconds left in the ball game. Trailing by 1. Minot High looking for the comeback victory here tonight. They've only led one time in the ball game. We've been tied a couple times here tonight, but it's been all West Fargo from the start as far as the leads have been concerned. Packers put the ball into play. Over the timeline with Hagerly, guarded by Wentz. Backpedaling as Wentz trying to guard him up here with 40 seconds remaining in regulation. 60-61, West Fargo on top. They've got the ball on the near side. They go to work with it with Biricott up top. He's got it on the near wing. Shot clock down to 10. Descent's got the defense. Comes back away outside the arc. Wentz on Bierenkot. He crashes in. He scores. Bierenkot's been a monster. 3-point lead. Deontay Martinez with the basketball. He's going to drive in with it. Here's Deontay. He's stopped on the play. No! They call that it's out of bounds on Deontay. The basketball to me looked like it came off the hand of the West Fargo player. Here's the replay on the big screen. Deontay crashed in, put it up. And it's West Fargo basketball with 12 seconds remaining here in regulation. Minot High's going to need a foul or come up with the ball. Bierenkot's got it. He's going to dish it down to the corner. Pease wide open, lays it in. Pease has scored. West Fargo's winning the crown. Packers storm the floor, and they win their first state title since 1992. It only took since 92 to get revenge on the Magi for what happened the night back in 2016 where Minot High had the victory. Let's reset that. Packers won their last one in 92. They beat the Magi. Minot High won back in 2016. They beat the Packers. Tonight, it's West Fargo that takes down the Magicians by 5 in a classic. Hats off to a Magician team that deserves all the credit in the world. They came into the season the biggest underdog story. They were predicted to finish 6th inside of the West region. They win the West with a 19-1 record. They come into the state championship game today at 23-2, and there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of if you're a Magician or a fan of the Magi. 65-60 is the final score today as the Packers go on to take down the Magi. The Packers improved to 22-4 on the year. What a contest today. And the State A basketball championship belongs to the Packers from West Fargo. Let's go to our Pro Style Production DJ Services post-game show. The Packers pick up their 4th ever state crown, and the Magi take 2nd here at the Event Center in Bismarck.
Your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esfold. Find them online at ackermanesfold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esfold. Find them at ackermanesfold.com.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
When shopping for your next vehicle, shop Drive Chevrolet Buick, the dealer with the hometown buying experience and the big town inventory. Drive Chevrolet Buick has locations in Botno, Rugby, and Harvey. Browse the massive inventory online at drivechevrolet.com. New and used selections with small town prices. Our deals are worth the drive. drivechevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
This presentation of the PSP Network is brought to you by Bolt Pre-Law Firm, Clean Tech, 701 Realty, Magic City Inspections, First International Bank and Trust, Height Construction, Premier Movement, Premier Chiropractic, Subway, Tires Plus, Minot's Finest Collision Center, United Agronomy, the Minot Hockey Boosters, Morelli's Distributing, Planet Pizza, Century Eyewear, First Western Bank and Trust, the UPS Store, Qdoba, and Arbo Photography.
This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Movement, Clean Tech, First International Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tires Plus, Bolt Pre-Law Firm, First Western Bank and Trust, Magic City Inspections, Qdoba, the UPS Store, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Century Eyewear, Subway, Paul Sievert State Farm Agency, and Pro Style Production. It's time for the Pro Style Production DJ Services post-game show on the PSP Network. Back to the floor with Nick Holberg.
Well, a display at center court here this afternoon as Coach Dean Winchesky hands out his awards to his players that took second place in a matchup here today with the West Fargo Packers. 65-60. Deontay Martinez joins me here. Deontay, I know the last thing you want to do is talk about a loss like this, man, but I got to tell you, in my time announcing sports, you're one of the most dynamic, fun players, athletic, living highlight reels that I've ever seen. What's your message to young athletes and how to handle a loss like this? How does Deontay Martinez handle a loss today, 65-60? I know this isn't easy, man, but kids look up to you. What do you tell them, Deontay?
We fought hard all year, and I'm so proud of our guys. You know, we battled to the very end, and you know, we weren't supposed to be this good coming in. So at the end of the day, I'm just proud and really proud of how our team handled themselves.
You should be, man, and you should be proud of yourself. Obviously, with the Player of the Year award here, that has to feel pretty good. But touch on your teammates and how they helped you get that award here in 2021.
You know, my teammates are the reason I play. You know, I go out there every day, and you know, I enjoy going to practice because of them. You know, it's a fun time, and I wouldn't want to play basketball without my friends and my teammates.
Deontay, again, I know it's not the way you wanted the season to come to a close, but you have so much to be proud of, man. Thanks for the memories at Minot High School. You were fantastic, brother. We appreciate you. Dean Winchesky's going to hop in here. You win some, and you lose some. And tonight, Minot High lost in a gutsy effort, 65-60. Coach, what do you tell the kids after a matchup like this? They left it all on the floor, hey?
Sometimes you just, no matter what you do, you just end up short. You throw your heart out there, you battle it as best you can, and unfortunately, sometimes you get hurt, but you can't change any of that. You can't change your effort. You can't change how hard you play and the fact you play for each other. Our kids battled to be down 15 at the half, to take a lead in the second half. We gave ourselves a chance. We just couldn't make plays down the stretch when we needed to, and that's a really good team. They're well coached, and they found a way to get it done, and it hurts, but it isn't going to change what this team accomplished. You're pick six. No one thinks you have a chance to do anything, and to end up 23-2. It hurts now, but I'm so extremely proud of these kids. I love every one of them, and I wouldn't change one bit of it.
Can you touch on the seniors just for a moment and what they meant to this program and what they were able to do this year?
Well, the biggest thing the seniors did this year is they set a standard for effort and sacrifice that if other people are going to be a part of our program, they have to follow. And if, you can say what you want. You're not always going to get to this point. You're not going to end up with the record we had all the time, but you're going to get a lot more out of a season and find it more gratifying by being sacrificial and putting other people first. And they did that. I'm so proud of them.
It was a hell of a run. 23-2. Congratulations on a great season, Coach. And obviously, a lot to be proud of. We sure appreciate everything. And there's another state championship to be won next year, and hopefully Minot High's got their name on it.
We just got to go back to work. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you very much. Dean Winchesky, head coach of the Minot High Magicians. Not easy having those conversations after you lose a basketball game like that tonight. Deontay Martinez goes down in history as just a true class act. Comes over. How do you like that? Last thing he wants to do is talk to PSP Network about a loss in the state title game, but kids take his words, live by them. Young athletes out there, I don't care if you're a hockey player, a baseball player, a football player, swimmer, basketball, I don't care. Whatever it may be, this Magicians team this year really had a lot to teach you. And they taught you that with hard work and being a team-first player, you can break down mountains. That's what they did. They got to the state title game and they fell tonight 65-60. Did anybody see that coming? No, I don't think so. And with hard work and a team-first attitude, not being selfish, the Magi almost put home their 19th state title. When you have a program that's got as much power as the Magi, you're going to have wins, you're going to have losses. And those losses aren't easy. Tonight wasn't for the Magi by any means. They fall to the Packers 65-60. Here's the stat line of the recap of the ball game. West Fargo tonight was led by Carter Bierencott. He had 21 in the ball game. 13 for Brent Limke, 6 for Nick Carlson, 8 in the ball game today for Hagerly, 10 for Joel Pease, and 5 for Grefsrud. 2 were scored by Zapata. It was a West Fargo team that in the first half went 18 for 33, 54% from the field. In the second half, they went 10 for 27. 10 for 27, which was 37%. Minot High really came out and shut them down in the second half. 46% total for them. From three-point range, they were 4 for 12, 33%, 5 for 6 from the free throw line at 83%. Minot High was losing the rebounding battle at the break. They win the rebounding battle when it's all said and done at 33-31. West Fargo turned the ball over 9 times in the contest. The Magi turned it over 10 times in the contest. But the Magicians found a way to shoot and control the ball much better in the second half. Only 2 turnovers in that second half for the Magi, who shot 9 for 25 in the first half today. And in the second half, they go 24 for 53 at 45%. Only 1 3-pointer in the ball game. 1 for 9 for the Magi from behind the 3 line here today, and that was Rashad Wilcox Michael Ross scoring that 3-pointer. Ross gets a 3-pointer. The Magicians in the second half again, 1 for 9 from 3-land, 11% for them. Pretty uncharacteristic, kind of the difference in the ball game here today. 78% from the free throw line, better than average. They came in at 76% from the charity stripe. The Magicians were led in scoring by guess who? The player of the year for the state of North Dakota in Class A basketball, Deontay Martinez. He had 19. 14 for Derek Dissett, and a kid that you're going to want to watch and keep your eyes on as Dissett continues to grow. He's only a sophomore. He had 14 today. Good response for Dissett after he ended up being held off the score sheet in the semis. 12 for Rashad Wilcox. Wilcox was good today, and Wilcox was fun to watch. 11 for Michael Ross in the ballgame. Those were the scores for the Magi today. They only had, they had 2 more in scoring. Kay Butts scored 2, and Eric Wentz ended up with a 2-pointer in the ballgame as well. The Packers did a great job defensively, holding Minot High at bay in that first half. And it's a Packers team that again improves to a record of 22-4 on the year. The Magi close out their season at 23-2. 64 days between the losses for the Magi. They lost to West Fargo back in January. They went on a 17-game win streak to get all the way to the state championship and fall by a score of 65-60 here today in the championship game of the state Super A. Plenty to be proud of for the Magi, plenty to be proud of for the Packers as well. That was one heck of a year for both of those teams. More to come on the Pro Style Production DJ Services postgame show. When we come back, we're going to name our players of the game and then have our play of the game and put a cap on the basketball season for Class A. Don't forget, Class B basketball coverage can be found here on the PSP Network. Coming up next week with Scott Cattell. You'll have the call on the PSP Network of every game from the State B tournament coming up next week. 65-60 tonight. The Packers take the win over the Magi for their fourth ever state championship. Only 2 lead changes. Biggest margin was 17, and the Magi crawled back and lost by 5.
We don't see a new car buyer or a used car buyer. We see a person giving us a chance to earn their trust, and we take that personally. We detail and inspect every pre-owned vehicle on our lot. So when you buy one, you'll leave feeling confident that the car is in great condition and you got a great value. Like this 2017 Sierra 1500 Crew, priced at an even 30 grand. That's more than $2,000 below NADA book value. Come see us today at Ryan Buick GMC, your dealership of choice.
This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Movement, Clean Tech, First International Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tires Plus, Beaupre Law Firm, First Western Bank and Trust, Magic City Inspections, Qdoba, the UPS Store, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Century Eyewear, Subway, Paul Sievert State Farm Agency, and Pro Style Production.
Final time of the 2021 Class A basketball season. We'll name our players of the game here on the PSP Network, brought to you by our friends at Minot's Finest Collision Center after a 65-60 victory in the state title game for West Fargo. You remember that feeling when Minot High won it back in 2015 and then again in 2016 and 2017? You never think about the team that takes second in that moment. When you're on the other side of that, you do now, and the Magicians certainly have a lot to be proud of. Never an easy thing to lose in the state championship game, but give the credit to West Fargo and give the credit to the Magi. I mean, they ended up losing 2 games on the season. They went 23-2 on the year, a team that had the player of the year for Class A basketball, Deontay Martinez, and the coach of the year, Dean Winchesky, announced after the contest here tonight. They have plenty to be proud of. 65-60 the final in favor of the Packers from West Fargo here tonight, picking up their first state title since 1992. And a team that did it in fashion today. They were good today, without a doubt. Time for our players of the game, brought to you by our friends at Minot's Finest Collision Center, 701-839-0989. We are Minot's Finest. The seniors in this group for the Magi. The ones that started today, Michael Ross, Rashad Wilcox, and Deontay Martinez. Got Cade Beater on that group as well as one of the seniors. Hunter McDonald, one of the seniors. Who are we missing? Gavin Argent, one of the seniors, Tegan Kinchin, one of the seniors, Butts, Wilcox, and Michael Ross. Hats off to you, gentlemen. You're player of the game in my mind here today. That senior leadership of that group deserves a lot of credit for what they were able to do. You're going to get the final nod for me on the player of the game here in the championship game, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. Time for our play of the game, delivered by our friends at the UPS store. The Magi made it interesting down the stretch, didn't they? They were down by 17. They came clawing back into it. And a couple calls on our play of the game here tonight. Here's the first one, brought to you by the UPS store, open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7, and Saturday, 8:30 to 3. The UPS store located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza. For all your packing and shipping needs, here's your plays of the game. Into the paint, right wing, looking for the outlet, finds it. Wilcox, he scored! Minot High's got the lead for the first time in the ballgame. 56-54. Hello, Rashawn Wilcox. Yeah, that was a big one for Rashawn Wilcox, without a doubt. And another big one moments before. Not about a three. Up top for Ross, open from three-land. Swish! We're tied at 54 on a monster three-pointer from Michael Ross. That was monster for Michael Ross to tie the ball game up, and then Wilcox took the lead for the Magi. Beer and Cotton Company from West Fargo just had too much gas in the tank, and they get the win today over the Magi, 65-60. Huge thank you to everyone for being a part of these broadcasts, on our sponsorship team and the group of people that bring these games to you. Without those sponsors, we frankly wouldn't be here. So make sure, if you can, to patronize those local businesses that support the PSP network and partner for marketing with us. We sure appreciate all of them. Big thank you to all of our marketing partners. Big thank you to all you fans for joining us as well this entire Class A basketball and hockey season. It's been fun. We've got baseball coming up, by the way, and girls softball. We'll have that. But first, the State B tournament next week with legendary voice of the Magi, the Beavers, and Class B Region 6, Scotty Cattell, will be on the air for the State B coming up next weekend. And you can hear them for every single game at the State B here on the PSP Network. Big thanks to Deontay Martinez for stopping by. I know it's not easy to do, to talk after a loss like that. We thank him. We thank Dean Winchesky for his time before and after the ball game tonight. And again, we thank you, the fans. Final from the state championship. West Fargo wins 65-60. They win their fourth state title. The Magi come up a bit short, but really they ended up a bit long from where they were supposed to be. Preseason poll and ranking number 6 in the West. What a year for the Magi. Nick Holberg signing off from the Event Center in Bismarck. Till high school baseball starts. Have a good night, and God bless.
It's an essential part of life today. So why is it so hard to figure out how much speed you actually need? At SRT, we provide fast, reliable internet packages to help you live your best internet lifestyle, so you can enjoy seamless connections across every device in every room. Get our popular social package for only $45.95 a month. Great for the whole family. It doesn't have to be difficult to get Wi-Fi that works. Contact SRT and start